What's cracking, peeps? Darren McDuffie here, alias Fat Man, helping you become perfectly healthy in tone and conscious, of course. So, real impromptu Facebook Live tonight. Just wanted to talk about a few things. I know we are going into 2018. A lot of people have resolutions that they set for the new year. And most of the time, what happens when we set resolutions for the new year, by the time a week passes, we are already out of those resolutions and many people will give up. But just wanted to share something with you that I've been doing for myself, which has really helped me over the years. In 2011, I remember I made a significant amount of money and was able to leave a job, and I wanted to start my own business, which I ended up doing. I remember driving to work that day and how I felt. And I also remember driving home and how much fear I had when I said, oh my God, look, I've quit my job and now I'm going to start this business. And I remember all the thoughts going on in my head as I was driving home, all the fear. And I went forward with the business anyway. But when I started that business, I was always in a significant amount of fear. I was always thinking about what bad things could happen instead of what good things could happen and what success could happen for me as well. So eventually what happened is that business ended up failing because that's all I ever thought about. But here it is, that was 2011 and now it's almost 2018. That was 7 years ago. And I'm still really changing and evolving and looking at growing my own business. So a lot of us have gone through a lot of things. You may have gone through some things with your relationship. You may have gone through some things with your job. You may have gone through things with any amount of things that are happening or revolving around in our world on a daily basis. But here's what happens to most people is that when there's some type of adversity that comes to them, something that eventually stops them, they give up and they quit. So my message to you tonight and moving forward in 2018 is to be willing to give yourself more chances. Be willing to say yes more than you will say no. Because a lot of times what happens when we have that adversity that we're going through, on the other side of that adversity is usually that success. I remember when right before I got my job this year, which I had been looking for a job for almost 2 years, right before I got that job, I was in a car accident. I got tickets. Everything was happening and I could have given up. And I just said, you know what, I'm going to give myself more chances. And usually for most of us, there are going to be quote unquote bad things that happen to us to propel us into something significantly greater before that good thing happens. And what happens with a lot of people is that they just give up. They just give up. They're not willing to give themselves more chances. So again, my message tonight is when something happens in your relationship, be willing to give yourself more chances. When something happens in your career, be willing to give yourself more chances. Be willing to say yes more times than you're willing to say no. Because lots of times, again, that persistence and that being able to go on when we are willing to give up is what helps propel us into success. And a lot of people, when they hit that first road bump, they give up. They don't want to give themselves any more chances. You have to be gentle with yourself. You have to believe in yourself and you have to constantly keep going. It's not always the person who is successful is the one who, or rather saying that the person who's successful is the one who's persistent and just keeps going, who just never gives up. We always see successful people on Facebook, on TV or whatever, but we don't always see what they had to go through to get to that success. And it's oftentimes that they were willing to give themselves more chances. They were willing to say, let me do this one more time. And that one more time can be the difference between quitting and giving up or moving on to something that is greater. the biggest thing when it comes to loving yourself and having more self-care for yourself, and really that's all you need for success, is loving yourself to a higher degree. Because when we don't love ourselves, things show up as bad relationships. Things show up as getting fired from your job, because I've gotten let go from a number of jobs because I didn't love myself enough to think that I needed more. So a lot of times with these things that are we think are bad that are coming up for us are those things to get us to love ourselves more. And everything in our world permeates from the love from ourselves. I don't care how much money you're making or not making, how successful your relationship is, or whatever it is, because generally our world revolves around three different areas: job, love, relationship. I mean, job, relationships, and career, which is probably the same thing there. But again, the greater amount that you're going to love yourself is how things are going to show up from you. And a lot of people out here looking for love, and it's being shown to them to the degree that they love themselves. And when you love yourself more, everything will show up better for you. So the thing I want you to take away from this is that when you love yourself, you're not going to criticize yourself when something goes wrong. Thank you, Scott. You're not going to criticize yourself when something goes wrong. You're not going to beat up on yourself when something goes wrong. You're not going to blame yourself when something goes wrong. Because a person who really and truly loves themselves is willing to give themselves more chances, 1,000 chances if need be, to get that yes, to propel themselves to something greater. Don't shut down when things get tough. Be willing again to say yes when you really want to say no. So that's my message for tonight. Take that into 2018. There are no goals, there are no lists that you can write that are going to propel you into something greater, but loving yourself and being able to give yourself another chance when you really want to give up. Give yourself another chance when you want to beat yourself up and blame yourself about what went wrong with the relationship, what went wrong with the job, what went wrong with whatever went wrong. Practice a greater degree of self-love and give yourself that one more chance. One more chance with your diet. I know a lot of people are going to be starting diets. That's their number one goal, to lose weight. But as oftentimes, again, we give up. As soon as that one thing, as soon as we eat that one piece of bread or whatever we're not supposed to eat, we give up. Same thing with our job or jobs or whatever it is. So give yourself that one more chance this year, and I guarantee you it will work out for you, because I've given myself 1,000 different chances to start over, to make something new, to make something bigger and greater. So it's been Darren McDuffie, alias Fat Man, helping you become perfectly healthy in tone. One love, y'all. I'm out. Happy New Year.